You are not what the world tells you that you are. You are not the product of your past, your mistakes, or even your achievements. You are the operant power, the one who chooses, imagines, and gives life to every condition you experience. And today I tell you, if you desire to be valued, honored, loved, and celebrated, you must act as if you are the prize, because in truth you already are. There is no need to wait for others to recognize your worth. The moment you begin to assume that you are valuable, the world will rise to meet you with that same recognition. You must carry yourself with the inner conviction that you are already chosen, already favored, already worthy. This isn't arrogance. It is spiritual law. What you assume to be true of yourself, with persistence and belief, must outpicture itself in your world. Think not of how others treat you now. That is only the echo of old thoughts, old states. Instead, enter into the feeling of already being the one others pursue, admire, and desire to be near. How does it feel to walk into a room knowing you are the prize? How do you carry yourself? How do you speak? How do you move when you know, not hope, not wish, but know that your presence alone is enough? You must discipline the mind to live from this end. This is not about external validation. It's about internal transformation. It is about becoming so rooted in your own worth that the world cannot help but reflect it back to you. The one who acts from the state of being chosen becomes the chosen. The one who moves through life as though they are the gift becomes the gift received by others. Don't wait to be loved, be loved. Don't wait to be admired, be admirable. Don't chase, don't plead, don't beg. Those who beg do not believe they are the prize, and if you don't believe it, how will the world believe it for you? Let others sense in you that stillness, that quiet confidence, that serene knowing. Speak only when your words build from the truth of your worth. Walk as one who has already arrived, not one who is trying to arrive. The state you occupy, that is your magnet. That is what calls the world into alignment with your inner reality. When you rise in the morning, do not look in the mirror for flaws. Look and remember, I am the prize. When you walk into any place, a home, a store, a meeting, a relationship, you enter not as one who lacks, but as one who brings. You bring peace, power, presence. You bring value simply because you are aligned with your inner truth. This is not to impress others. It is to express the divine truth of your being. You are the one who sets the tone. If you feel unchosen, then stop rehearsing rejection in your mind. Stop waiting to be seen. See yourself. Dwell in the state of already being acknowledged, respected, adored. Don't wait for the evidence. Create the evidence by first creating the assumption. Your inner state is the seed. Your outer world is the harvest. Others will come and go. Circumstances will shift, but the self you imagine yourself to be, that is what remains. That is what drives all else. So begin now to see yourself rightly. Walk as though the universe is already applauding you, for in the unseen it already is. You assume the posture of the one who knows their worth, not with noise, not with striving, but with the effortless grace of someone who has remembered who they truly are. And when you live this way, not for a moment, but as a way of being, you will find that the world cannot help but confirm what you have accepted within. You are the prize, always were, always will be. Now, live it. You may be tempted to say, but I don't feel like the prize. My life doesn't look like I'm valued. People overlook me. They don't choose me. They don't see my worth. But I tell you, that outer reality you describe is nothing more than the mirror of your inner conversations. It is not a verdict. It is not the truth. It is simply the reflection of a state you have accepted without question. And if you no longer wish to live in that world, you must no longer dwell in that state. To be the prize is not about convincing the world. It is about convincing yourself, and not through effort or force, but through assumption. You must begin to assume that you are already what you desire to be. You must feel that it is so, here and now, without waiting for external evidence to justify it. The moment you enter into the feeling of being chosen, being admired, being loved, Something invisible shifts within you, and though you may not yet see the shift in the world around you, it has already begun. The world is slow to echo the inner movement, but echo it must. There is no outer transformation without inner assumption. You cannot plant an apple seed and expect oranges. Likewise, you cannot sow feelings of unworthiness and reap love, respect, or abundance. You must be faithful to the new seed. You must tend to it daily, not with anxiety, not with effort, but with assurance. The prize does not chase. The prize attracts. And how does one attract? Not by begging, not by striving, but by being. The most magnetic people are those who have settled into themselves. They have assumed their value. They are not comparing, competing, or proving. They are simply being the one they have decided to be. The world organizes itself around that decision. Your assumptions create your experiences. So ask yourself, what am I assuming about myself right now? If you feel invisible, it is because you have assumed that you are. If you feel unwanted, it is because in your inner conversations you have rehearsed rejection. Perhaps it has been unconscious, perhaps it has been subtle, but it has been real, and it has been powerful. It is time now to become conscious of the power within you. You do not need to ask for permission to change your story. You need only decide, what story do you wish to live? If you wish to be adored, then begin to assume you already are. If you wish to be valued, carry yourself as if the world is lucky to have you in it. Not in pride, but in peace. Not in ego, but in essence. The essence of one who knows they were made with divine intention, and therefore lack nothing. Every moment of your life you are affirming something, either by default or by design. If you do not consciously assume the state you desire, you will fall into the state the world reflects to you. And the world is noisy. The world says you must prove your worth, earn your place, compete for love. But the truth is this: your worth is inherent. Your place is already prepared. Your love is already within you, and it is waiting to be expressed, not demanded from others, but radiated from within. The one who knows they are the prize does not react to rejection. Why? Because they know their value doesn't decrease when someone else fails to see it. They know the world cannot rob them of what they have accepted as true within. So they remain unshaken, unmoved, resting in the quiet certainty of their own worth. Do not chase what you want. Assume it. Occupy the state of already having it. See yourself in possession of it, not from a place of needing, but from a place of knowing. The feeling of the wish fulfilled must become more real to you than the evidence of your senses. That is the great secret. That is the hidden law. And though it may seem like a small thing, to simply assume, there is no greater force in creation than that inner act. The one who assumes they are loved begins to think like someone who is loved. They begin to move like someone who is loved, and that movement draws love from every corner, not because they forced it, but because they became it. The one who assumes they are chosen begins to carry themselves as chosen, and so the world reflects it. This principle applies to all things: relationships, success, finances, health. The outer follows the inner. If you wish to be desired, stop imagining yourself as unwanted. If you wish to be respected, stop replaying scenarios of disrespect in your mind. You must stop defending the old identity and instead die to it. Leave it behind. That version of you no longer serves your vision. The prize does not beg for attention. The prize does not dwell on being overlooked. The prize lives in certainty. And when you make your home in that state, others feel it. They may not know what has changed, but they will feel drawn to it, magnetized by it, because you will have shifted from seeking to knowing. This isn't about pretending. It is about becoming. Pretending is hollow. It is fragile. But becoming, that is rooted. It is unshakable. You become by living from the state as if it were already true. That is the key. You don't wait for it to happen. You live as though it already has. If you desire admiration, stop imagining yourself as invisible. Imagine instead how it feels when others lean in when you speak, when eyes light up at your presence, when your name is spoken with warmth and appreciation. If you dwell in that feeling persistently and remain faithful to it, the world must conform. Not maybe. It must. This is not positive thinking. This is creative law. You are the operant power. You are not at the mercy of circumstance. You are not a victim of your past. You are the one who chooses the state, and the state you occupy determines what the world reflects to you. So why not choose the highest, the noblest, the most radiant version of yourself? Every day recommit to this truth: I am the prize. Let it saturate your inner dialogue. Let it reshape how you speak to yourself in silence. When doubt arises, return to the state. When fear whispers, "You're not enough," answer with, "That may have been true in the past, I imagine, but I have imagined a new self, and that self is enough." You don't fight with the old, you simply stop feeding it. You don't resist the fear, you ignore it by staying faithful to the new. You will be tempted to look outside for validation. You may even look for signs that what you are doing is working. But I tell you, you are the sign. The inner shift is the only proof you need. The outer world is just a matter of time. Do not undo your work by returning to the old state, because the world hasn't changed fast enough. It will change, but only if you remain. It takes courage to live as if, to walk as if, to speak as if. But in doing so, you become the living proof that you are no longer who you were. And when you change your conception of yourself, everything changes. Relationships shift, opportunities appear. Even your body and your finances begin to mirror the new image. So ask again, how would you act if you truly believed you were the prize? What would you stop tolerating? What would you start attracting? What would you no longer chase? What would you allow to come to you effortlessly? That is your assignment. Live in the end. See yourself through the eyes of love, of favor, of abundance. Do not defer your value to some far-off day when the world finally sees it. You are the one who sees first. You are the one who calls it forth. The world follows. Let your tone reflect your worth. Let your posture reflect your power. Let your choices reflect your clarity. When you say no, say it with the assurance of one who knows something greater is always on the way. When you say yes, say it from a place of alignment, not desperation. Others may not understand the shift in you. They may call it pride. They may call it fantasy. Let them. What they call fantasy, you know to be truth. What they call pride, you know to be power reclaimed. You have nothing to prove. You have only to remember. Remember who you are. Remember what you carry. Remember that everything you seek is already seeking you, but it is drawn only to the version of you who knows they deserve it. So drop the mask of unworthiness. Remove the cloak of self-doubt. Let go of the false humility that says, "I'm just trying." There is no trying. There is only being. Choose to be now what you desire to become. When the world sees you walk into the room, let them feel something different. Let them sense the presence of someone who no longer seeks approval, because you have already given it to yourself. Let them see the light in your eyes, the calm in your voice, the certainty in your step. That is what it means to act as if you are the prize. Not to perform, but to embody. And if ever you forget, if ever you slip into the old habits of doubt or seeking, gently return. Speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. Tell yourself, it's already done. I already am. I don't need to see it to believe it. I believe it, therefore I will see it. All great change begins within. All transformation starts with identity. The old you may have survived on hope and effort. The new you thrives on assumption and rest. Rest in your new identity. Assume it fully, and do not budge from it, because once you have assumed the feeling of being the prize, the world has no choice but to treat you accordingly. Life becomes your mirror, and when you love what you see within, what you see without will be beautiful too. So now, make the decision. Not tomorrow, not when things improve, now. Decide that you are the prize, not because someone else says so, but because you finally remember who you are. You were never meant to chase love, to beg for respect, or to shrink to be accepted. You were created to radiate, to draw all good things by the power of your own assumption. Hold your head high, not with arrogance, but with spiritual authority. Walk into every room as if you belonged, because you do. Speak with the voice of one who knows they are worthy, because you are. And never again ask the world for permission to be seen, loved, or chosen. You are not here to fit in. You are here to stand out, not loudly, but powerfully, quietly, authentically. The one who knows they are the prize moves differently. They don't force, they don't chase, they become. And because they become, they receive. So step into that version of yourself fully. Live from it, think from it, love from it, act from it, and the world, by law, will rise to match it. Let today be the day you stop waiting and start embodying, because the truth is eternal. You are the prize. You always have been, and now, finally, you remember.